It was a quiet Friday night, and the house was finally calm after a long week. The rain had been falling since early evening, a soft patter against the windows that somehow made everything feel more still and reflective. I had just finished my second load of laundry and slipped into my favorite oversized hoodie before retreating into my bedroom. The moment my head touched the pillow, I felt the pull of sleep begin to drag me under. I didn't even bother checking my phone. I just wanted to shut out the world for a while. My name is Emily Carter. I'm 22, and I still live at home while working part-time and finishing my last semester of college. It's not ideal, but with the cost of everything these days, it made the most sense. My mom had remarried 2 years ago, and that's how my stepbrother, Jake, came into the picture. Jake was a year older than me, tall, athletic, and always a little reserved. He kept to himself most of the time, but we got along fine. There was never any drama between us. He had his routine, and I had mine. We shared the house like distant roommates rather than siblings. That night, I was fast asleep when I heard a faint knock at my door. I stirred a little, unsure if I had dreamed it, then came another gentle knock. I groaned quietly and rolled over, hoping whoever it was would take the silence as a sign to come back later. But the door creaked open slowly, and a voice whispered my name. Emily. Jake's voice was low, cautious. I blinked in the darkness, still groggy. What? I mumbled. Sorry. I didn't know who else to talk to, he said, staying in the doorway. That caught my attention. Jake never came into my room, never even knocked unless it was important. I sat up, rubbing my eyes, and turned on the lamp beside my bed. What's going on? I asked. Jake stepped inside and closed the door behind him. He looked uncomfortable, like he was carrying something heavy on his shoulders. He sat at the edge of the bed, careful not to disturb anything. I know this is weird, he said, but I needed someone to talk to, and Mom and Dad aren't here. I didn't want to call anyone else. Now I was more awake. Okay. So talk. What's wrong? He hesitated, taking a deep breath. It's about school, and just life, I guess. I've been feeling like I'm falling behind. Like I'm not doing anything right. I looked at him, surprised. Jake had always seemed like he had it together. He worked full-time and went to trade school. He was responsible, punctual, quiet. But now, under the lamplight, he looked tired. Worn out. Why didn't you say something sooner? I asked gently. I guess I didn't want anyone to see that I was struggling, he said with a hollow laugh. It's dumb, I know. But it's hard to admit when you don't have things under control. I nodded slowly. It's not dumb. We all go through stuff. I've had days where I didn't even want to leave my bed. But you don't have to go through that alone. Jake looked over at me and smiled faintly. Thanks. I didn't know who else to turn to. You came to the right place, I said. But next time, maybe wait until morning. You scared me half to death. He chuckled. Yeah, sorry about that. We sat in silence for a minute, the quiet hum of the rain filling the room. It wasn't uncomfortable, just peaceful. I realized then how little I actually knew about him. We had lived in the same house for 2 years, but never really talked. Not like this. You wanna talk more? I asked. Or just sit here for a bit? I think just sitting is good, he said. I pulled the blanket back and scooted over. You can sit up here. The floor can't be comfortable. He hesitated, then accepted the invitation and sat next to me. We leaned against the headboard, both quiet, both listening to the rain and each other's breathing. I used to think that opening up meant you were weak, he said after a long pause. I used to think that too, I replied. But I've learned that pretending to be okay all the time just makes things worse. He glanced at me, eyes soft. How did you get so wise? I smiled. Maybe because I've messed up enough times to learn from it. We both laughed, a light sound that broke the weight of the moment. For the first time, it felt like we weren't just people forced to live in the same space. We were actually seeing each other, understanding each other. That night marked the beginning of something different, something more like family. Jake eventually stood up and stretched. Thanks, Emily. I didn't mean to interrupt your sleep. It's okay, I said. Anytime. He smiled and headed to the door. "Good night." "Good night, Jake." I turned off the lamp and settled back into bed, but this time with a small sense of comfort. I wasn't just a girl trying to get through college anymore. I was someone my stepbrother trusted. And that meant something. What followed over the next few weeks was a quiet shift in our relationship. We started having more real conversations about life, school, plans, fears. Jake opened up more, and I did too. We discovered that we had more in common than we thought. Music, for one. We both liked the same obscure bands and even started making playlists for each other. He taught me how to fix minor things around the house, and I helped him organize his class notes and applications. Our mom noticed too. One afternoon she caught us laughing over something on my laptop and raised an eyebrow. "Since when do you two get along so well?" We looked at each other and shrugged. "Guess we finally figured out we're not that different," Jake said. It felt good, growing into this new bond. No pressure, no awkwardness, just a genuine sense of support. And I realized that family doesn't always start with blood or grow from childhood. Sometimes, it finds you later in life, when you least expect it, through the quietest moments. But of course, life doesn't stay peaceful forever. One evening, Jake didn't come home. I waited, checking the clock, trying not to worry. He always texted if he was going to be late. But there was nothing. I called him twice, no answer. I even messaged him online. Still nothing. Finally, around midnight, the front door opened. I ran to the hallway and saw him soaked from the rain, limping slightly. "What happened?" I asked, rushing to his side. He looked exhausted. "Car broke down." And I slipped trying to push it to the side of the road. "Why didn't you call me?" "My phone died," he said. "I just walked the last 3 miles." Without hesitation, I helped him into the kitchen and got him a towel and something warm to drink. He sat there quietly, staring at the cup of tea. "You didn't have to do all that alone," I said. "I know," he replied. "Old habits." "Well, those habits are gone now," I said firmly. "You've got me." "Okay." He nodded, his voice low. "Okay." And I meant it. I was in his corner. From now on, no matter what came our way, we'd face it together.